team, so today is all about the thoracic spine. So we're going to focus on the upper body and the shoulders and the wrists. You'll need a broomstick or wooden stick or something that resembles this. You can just use one of your bands as well. And then there's something just to support your knees, whether it's a cushion, a mat, etc. If you need to pause or fast forward at any point during the video, please feel free to do so. It may be of benefit for you, especially if you need to spend a bit longer on an area. So we're going to start off working into the wrists. I'm going to keep my elbows nice and locked out and draw some big circles around that shoulder and wrist. And we're going to do 10 one way and then 10 the other. And in the other direction. Couple more of those. Then we're going to work on into the inside of the wrist joint there. So we're just going to keep the elbows locked out and move side to side, peeling the heel of the hand off the floor. Rep wise again, 10, 15. If you're feeling particularly tight in that area, then I would definitely suggest just spending a little bit longer on those areas, not a problem. Then we're going to turn the hands so they're facing all the way in. Again, elbows locked out. I'm just very slowly going to move forwards and back. Usually is the most intense one out of the three on the wrist there. So again, just be nice and gentle. 10 to 15, all good. Then just while we're sat here, we can sit back onto our feet, however you like to be comfortable. Hands together, and we're just going to draw some little circles around our wrist joint. Just some small movements. Now this is the kind of thing that it may seem like it's not doing that a lot of good, but actually it's very simple but very effective just to mobilise the wrist joint. Then we go the other direction, and again, same sort of rep range throughout the whole of today. 10 to 15. A few more, a few less. If you like, just keep that area nice and mobile. Then drawing some circles with the wrist now, arms straight out. Same rep count, guys. So we're starting to bring the shoulder into this now. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to move on to some of our classics now. So we'll start off with a regular cat curl, and I'm just going to tuck my head in, push into the floor, up and down. Getting as much space between the shoulder blades as we can. Making a nice big arc. And we're going to take that onto some little shoulder dips now, up and down. If you're lucky, you might get a few cracks, release of air out of those joints. If you're at a computer a lot, if you've been driving a lot, if you've been worked a lot in Ensofit, this is a good one. Good session to get that mid-back working. Okay guys, same position. This time I'm going to bring my arm under. I'm going to let my shoulder drop to encourage some movement through the mid-back and shoulder. I'm going to come back with that same arm and reach forward. Stretch out a bit the lats now. Then come back up and reach under. Come back and reach forward. And back to the middle, reach under. And reach forward. This one is probably where you'll feel the most stretch. You want to spend a bit of time there. And reach under. And reach forward. And one more round of that. Reach under. And reach forward. And then one more time this side, reach under and reach forward. And then just a little bit into child's pose. So into that lat stretch, big stretch forward by hands. Keep breathing into that movement. Try and extend our fingertips away from us. And then we can walk our hands round to the left and repeat the process. And the other way. And back to the middle. This time we're going to turn our palms up and repeat that stretch. And back into lat stretch one more time. And then back across to the left or the right. And away. And back to the middle, and then knuckles facing down, same stretch. And again, you can feel free to repeat that another 2 or 3 times if you're particularly getting a lot out of the lats. That'll be a really good thing to do. Okay, we're going to move on to some standing stretching now. So this is when the stick comes in, or the band. And I'm just going to make sure firstly that I always keep my pelvis tilted in this position. And I'll make sure my ribs don't flare out too much. Okay, so from this position, I'm taking the stick, keep the elbows as locked out as possible. Stick going above my head, just to gain a little bit of stretch through potentially the chest. It depends if you're a little tight there, maybe a little bit into the back of the shoulders. Just working through that area. And again, we want to do 10 of those, absolutely fine, brilliant. Nice one. Daily one, this one really, it's a really good daily one. And then we're going to keep one arm fairly anchored in whilst we move the other arm. So we're just focusing on the one side, not expecting tons of movement here, guys. Not necessarily, unless you are pretty flexible. And then the other side. So 5, 6 each side, all good. And then we can go back to the first one again. Just see how that feels. Any improvement there? Again, number 10. Okay guys, and then to finish this off, we're just going to do a bit more of an upper body fascial stretch here. So feet shoulder width apart, one hand is going to come over the top as the other hand reaches away underneath me. as much stretch as we can. Nice one to finish on here. And again, 5 or so each side is great. Big reach, especially with that hand over the top. Okay. All right, there you go, guys. So there is your weekly stretch. Lots of work on the mid-back today, the shoulders. Feel free to rewind, go back to any of those exercises that you got a lot out of in particular, and let me know how you get on.